though.
What y'all
Nah, they
saying?
got core
Relevant though? I
fans.
don't feel like he's relevant. He's not. He's not relevant. He just has a
Yeah, I'll be right.
loyal fan base.
Thank
He
you.
just has a.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright? We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright? Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, 21 Savage. Some people think that he's on his high horse. You know, he had a very, very successful project with Drake that just dropped. If I'm not mistaken, they did at least 400 something copies within the first week. And, you know, people are saying that he's on the high horse. You know, he has said that he was the best and most relevant guy coming out of his draft class. Talking about the whole XXL thing when he first came out. That's when him and Kodak Black got into the whole back and forth. Not too much of back and forth, but Kodak haven't stopped since. And now he says this about Nas, right? Now he said that he was on Clubhouse, matter of fact. Let's start from the beginning. He was on Clubhouse, and you know, these guys was talking about, you know, the older generation of rappers, and Nas came up. Now when they spoke on Nas, your boy 21 Savage briefly said that Nas is not relevant. And of course, everybody that was probably above 30 and 40 years old, they attacked 21 Savage. Not in a, you know, in a crazy way, but of course people will feel away because Nas does have a core audience. You know, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you actually like Nas or listen to his music, Nas has a very core fan base, just like a lot of these guys from the, you know, older times have. Your Jay-Z's, you know, your Cool G Raps, your KRS-Ones, your Fat Joes, your Snoops. These are guys who have albums that they come from a time to where, you know, it was a little more substance. So you could go back and still listen to one of their albums that came out in 1990, whatever, to this day, because it still put you in a good feeling. They were still talking about events that are still occurring to this day. But anyway, we're going to talk about 21 Savage saying that Nas is irrelevant. I think I understood what he was trying to say, even though they kind of made him seem like he was bugging, and you know, I get what he was trying to say. But the problem is the word relevant. You know, that term is very blanket. You know, when you speaking of relevancy, you gotta be a little more specific in what you mean when you say that someone isn't relevant. And I'm gonna tell you why. The guy in the room on Clubhouse, he made a good suggestion, and he said, quote, "What is relevancy to you? Does relevancy only, you know, equate to the youth, you know, and what they're listening to now, or does that mean everybody?" Now that's a good point, because of course to somebody in these days and age that's listening to your drill music, you know, the Ice Spices, the Glorillas, the drill music, whatever, to them, Nas don't really mean nothing because it ain't come up in that era. You know, if you ask a guy that right now that's 20 years old how they feel about Nas, they're not going to give you the same answer that a person that's 44 or in their 50s would give you. To be honest with you, a 20-year-old probably don't even know who Nas is. A 20-year-old probably never even listened to a Nas song a day in their life before. And I can't sit here and fault him for it, because Nas haven't really been putting out music that a 20-year-old will gravitate to. It just is what it is. We're in a different state of music these days. So I wouldn't expect a guy that's 20, 21 years old right now to have listened to Nas or say that he's going to turn a Nas song on. However, you got a guy that's probably 35, 40 something years old that'll tell you, nah, yeah, I listen to Nas here and there, or I listened to Nas this morning is, you know, and then some people go listen to music for certain type of feelings. So if a Nas song came on when you was doing good back in the days and it put you in a good mode and a good feel, guess what? You want to listen to that Nas song now to feel how you felt before. That's what music does. So you can't fault somebody for not feeling somebody is relevant if they don't feel the same way towards a certain artist. You know? Now, King Disease 3 just dropped, right? November 11th. With no promo or nothing. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of older people that definitely was waiting on King Disease 3 to drop. You know, he's doing, be real, Nas is still doing shows in Madison Square Garden. Somebody is still checking for Nas. He's relevant, but to a certain group of people. You know, so just because he's not relevant to the younger generation doesn't mean he isn't relevant. You know, so there's a difference, man. Now, also, does he have a core fan base? Because I seen that 21 Savage was trying to say that as well. He was saying that he's not relevant. He has a core fan base. Now, that's kind of tricky because he is right, but then he is wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. Yes, he has a core fan base. But once again, he's relevant to that core fan base. He's relevant. You know, whether a guy in Atlanta or North Carolina or somewhere else think that Nas isn't irrelevant, Nas is relevant to that certain group of people. Now, let me be clear as well. You see when people say, oh, this one is the GOAT, they may say Jay-Z is the GOAT, they may say Nas is the GOAT, whoever they say is the GOAT, right? The problem is with that, you can't tell a kid from Atlanta who can't relate to Nas or Jay-Z because of their way of living, you can't tell them that Nas and Jay-Z is the GOAT and be mad if they disagree with you. Now in Atlanta, they might tell you, nah, Jeezy the GOAT, nah, Gucci Mane the GOAT, nah, T.I. is the GOAT, Outkast is the GOAT. They got different people, so that's what I'm saying. It's different demographics, and I feel everybody should just like who they like. You ain't gotta say this person is relevant or whatever, because all these artists are relevant to somebody in some type of way. Look at that girl that just blew up. Period. Period. Oh, look at her. They offering her deals off a TikTok video, which means she's relevant to a certain group of people, whether it's kids, whether it's adult. I don't know who she's relevant to, but she's relevant to somebody with them offering her a deal. So at the end of the day, is she relevant to everybody? No, but she's relevant to a certain group of people. And at the end of the day, it just is what it is, man. But I feel when you saying somebody is irrelevant or somebody's relevant, you got to be more specific in what you mean. Maybe Nas is irrelevant to 21 Savage. It is what it is. Maybe Nas isn't his preference. You got some people from the South that would tell you, nah, I take Future over Nas. Then you got somebody that probably in the East Coast or New York or somewhere, they tell you, oh, nah, you bugging, you're crazy. But you can't tell that man who he likes. That just is what it is. Now when it came to all this with 21 Savage saying that Nas is pretty much irrelevant, Nas' brother Jungle, he had something to say towards the whole thing. You know, Nas is pretty modest, but you know, his brother is a little different on the other hand. Now, the Shade Room posted about 21 Savage saying that Nas was in fact irrelevant. And of course, Jungle had to step into the Shade Room comments and he had this to say. He said, quote, at 21 Savage is trash. Laughing emoji. Glad Nas dropped KD3 so fans can hear real bars. 21, can you do something for me? Laughing emojis. Now, that was a play on the song that 21 Savage has with Drake when, you know, 21, can you do something for me? You know, it was kind of funny. You've seen the memes out there. People took it a little, you know, zesty. But anyway, that's pretty much it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about this. Do y'all think that Nas is really irrelevant? Or is he just relevant to a certain group of people and not this younger generation? Alright, jump in the comments, let me know how you feel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.